Hi, it's Somerset Foodie here. I'm going to show you something that will completely change your mind and blow you away with a fantastic pizza. So I've got one of our brilliant Pinsa Romana. So it's a flatbread that can be kind of anything you want really. The key difference here is that we've got 3 different flours going on. So we have got wheat flour, but we've got rice flour and we've got soya flour, which I didn't really think existed, but what it does is it combines to give you a really, really light, really digestible bread, but you can see it's really lumpy bumpy here. Now that's because there's loads of water in this dough that gives it this kind of, as it bakes, you get this steam going on and it creates this lovely, light, airy dough. I'm going to show you 3 different pizzas really quickly out of some simple ingredients that we've got here at home that will absolutely transform anything that you've ever bought in the shops. So we're going to start off with the simplest of pizza that you can possibly do, but this is amazing and it really shows off the great flavour of the bread that you can get. So simply start out with a base, some really good olive oil. So just literally drizzle this over your base, and you sort of can't do too much, but that to me looks really nice. And then we're just going to get some really nice kind of crystallized salt, and that's going to just go all over there. And then I've got some rosemary that we picked from the garden, so I'm just going to take a little handful of that, which I've already stripped off the leaves. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil over that, mix that up a little bit so that you've got rosemary, and then we're just gonna, you can kind of get your hands really mucky here, because actually what we then want to do, we just want to massage that oil and salt and rosemary into that base. Now this is really where you've got some other ingredients that you might want to have with it. So we might have some lovely charcuterie, we might have some great cheese, we could have just a lovely salad, we could have it on all sorts of different occasions, but it's going to taste amazing. And that is really it. That is simple as that. So I've got my oven on pretty high, it's just a normal gas oven. I mean, it's amazing if you've got a kind of pizza oven, or if you've got one of those nice little gadgets for your oven that you can put it on. I don't have one of those. I've just got a tray in the oven, which I'm going to put it on. And it's really good to put it onto something hot. What you try to do when you cook a pizza, you want to get heat on the base to get that crunchy. So yeah, it's going to take about 4 or 5 minutes. So really, in we go. That's it, job done. 5 minutes, we're going to be absolutely loving it. So this has been in the oven for about literally 4 or 5 minutes, and I think it's time to get them out. Oh, it's looking lovely. There we go. And there we have it, really. That's it. I think it's nice to finish it with another little drizzle of oil. And that is spectacular. Now, the key, really, listen. You get that absolutely lovely crunch. But what you don't get is what, with so many shop bought pizza, you get this horrendous biscuity texture. And with this, you'll get this lovely soft inner and this beautifully crisp outer. That is going to be gorgeous. Right, so we've just done our first one. Here's the second in our little trio of pizzas. So this has got a few more ingredients and it just kind of takes it up to another little level. What we've got is some basic Commodore Garden cream cheese. So I'm just going to whack in here probably 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. So that goes in. Now I've got a lemon. These aren't the best of lemons, but they're fine. And I'm just going to get my little microplane and grate a little bit of this lemon zest over this cream cheese. And I'm I'm just going to whack that in half and squeeze the juice in. I'm going to use the juice of both sides of that. So we're just going to mash that up a little bit, and then I've got a garlic clove, and again I'm just going to grate probably half a garlic clove in there. In that goes, and then just a little bit of this grana padano. So, and then we just need to get a spoon or a fork, probably a little bit easier, and we're just going to try and make something that's sort of sauce-like. Okay, so we've mixed up our cream cheese with the lemon, the garlic and the Parmigiano, and we'll just grab a base, and it's just literally a case of smothering this all over our Pinsa Romana. So probably just leaving a little gap towards the edge. So on it goes, be quite generous. That's amazing. There we go. And then what I've got, which I did a little bit earlier, is grabbing another spoon. I just took some basic common or garden mushrooms, and I've just got them cooked down a little bit in this pan with a bit of oil, and then I finished it with a little bit of truffle oil. Now, if you don't have the truffle oil, it's not a major problem, but that just gives it an absolutely amazing flavour. So we're just going to scatter these mushrooms over our base. Any old how like that. And then just another little bit of olive oil over that. Another little grating of grana padano. And just a little twist of black pepper on there. That is going to be heavenly. And we're ready to go. So in the oven, as we did before, onto the shelf. And we'll give that, again, 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, so it's actually been in there for about 8 minutes, and we're ready to get that out. So let's just wrestle that out quickly like that. There it is. That looks beautiful. So we're just going to finish that off with a little bit of rocket just over that, and a final little grate of grana padano. Oh yes. And then let's give that a little cut. Let's listen for that. Just listen to that. And that, my friends, is going to be absolutely heavenly. Brilliant. So there we go. Pinsa Romana with cream cheese, with a little bit of lemon zest, garlic and parmesan, topped with some truffled mushrooms, rocket and grana. Fantastic. There we go. Okay, so we're on to our final pizza in our little trio. This is going to be a little bit more classic because it's going to be a tomato-based one. So a lot of people, when you kind of think of tomato sauces for pizza, think of getting tomatoes, cooking them down to this kind of rich thing. That's slightly wrong, because all you need are good tomatoes. Now, you can pay probably 40p for a can of tomatoes. You really get what you pay for with tomatoes, and if you can get a really good quality tomato, you actually don't have to do anything to them. So This is our fantastic brand, Muti. They're a brilliant brand of tomatoes based in Parma, but they're a classic brand of Italian tomatoes. And all we have to do really is decant the tomatoes. Look at that. So often you get, when you decant some tomatoes, you get this kind of, you get a few chunks of tomatoes, quite a lot of watery stuff. But with this pulper, it's all great tomato. So let's get our base. I'm going to grab a spoon. And all you need to literally do, spread some of this really, really good quality tomato over the base. We're going to make just a real classic little margarita, but I'm just going to give it a little tiny twist. So, on with the tomato, really simple. If you've got any left like I have, you can either make another one, which we probably will do because we're all starving, or keep it in the fridge for a few days and use it for something else. So, tomato on. So I've just got some basic mozzarella here. Now this is just cow mozzarella, which is fine. It would be lovely to have a beautiful buffalo mozzarella, but sadly we don't have any. But we just rip that up and that goes on. I've got some basil leaves which are going on. Just scatter those over. A little grating of grana, which kind of almost acts like a seasoning, sort of, just that little saltiness that you get from that is perfect. And then this is my little twist. Nduja paste. That's how it's pronounced, Nduja. If you've never had this, this is proper good. It's probably the best Italian food discovery since mozzarella, I think, really. It's a salami in a jar. So traditionally this would be in a skin and it's soft and spreadable. This makes life easy. It's in a jar, you can put the cap on and put it on the lid, but it's effectively, you've got, like you would have any other salami, you've got cured pork, and then it's ground up finely and just supercharged with loads of amazing hot chili peppers. And what I'm going to do is just literally get a spoon, and we're just going to put a few spoonfuls of this in there to just, when you have a little bit of this in your mouth, it is kind of addictive heat, which is going to be absolutely stunning. So that's probably about enough. There it is. I'll tell you what we could do. A little squish of black pepper on there. Always good on that cheese. And we're ready to go. This will probably take a similar-ish kind of time, 5 to 8 minutes, something like that. So in it goes, onto the base. Right, so this has had about 8 minutes in our oven. Everyone's oven's going to be a bit different, but you just have to keep a little eye on it. And I think ours is done, so let's retrieve that out. And there it is. So that's our little take on a classic margarita with Nduja paste. And again, honestly, these pizzas are as good as you'll get with a freshly made pizza from a pizza oven in a kind of professional pizza place. And you can just do this at home and they are absolutely stunning. Let's just give that a little, grab this knife and we'll go for the crunch. Listen to that. They are absolutely glorious. So, they come frozen, these pizzas, these bases. They're 6 in a pack, and it's on our website in the kind of bread, pastries and biscuits section. So what I'm going to do is just freestyle with a little bit of rocket over the top, and that is going to be amazing. So yeah, pack of 6. You can just take them out of the freezer, defrost them one at a time. They take literally about 20 minutes, half an hour to defrost, and then you're away. And you know, I'll show you 3 things. you can absolutely go to town on any combinations you really like. But yeah, that's it. So www.somersetfoodie.com, and yeah, fill your boots with all this lovely stuff that we've got there, and look forward to seeing you next time.